got some good topics. 3 of them are for Disney theme. And guys, I am showing the Baby Yoda Funko Pops. They're official. Because last week we talked about how Disney doesn't really have any merch for Baby Yoda. Like, it was like tacked on, like, I do Photoshop work all the time, and it looked like a screenshot from the Mandalorian film and then pasted onto a t-shirt. And here it looks like this is what a lot better version of Baby Yoda. It looks like someone actually painted or something on there, so it looks like it's hand done a little bit, so it looks better. And of course you got the Funko Pops, and then you even got a bigger Funko Pop type of doll.
No, that one's creepy. I like the one on the right.
Yeah.
No, I like the one on the left because it's so much bigger.
But unfortunately these won't show up until like next year, maybe May or something like that. These are just
prototypes. They better not pre-order. That's fucked up.
Yeah, and it just sucks because like Baby Yoda's the hit thing right now, especially
I think
for Christmas.
that Funko is going to be hard to get.
Well, at first, yeah, because I remember when Guardians of the Galaxy first, like, they didn't have a merch for Baby Groot, and then when the second one, I managed to get it, but it was like months after the movie came out, months. And then finally, when the second movie came out, they were ready for it. They were ready for Baby Groot merch, and so they had that release.
By the time everything's out, I won't be able to get it until he's a teenager.
Baby Yoda?
Baby Yoda.
But Baby Yoda ages slowly.
Oh. Remember, he's 60?
Remember, he's 50 years old right now.
That's right.
So, you got time. Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda doesn't age that long. Also in the news, Mulan just released a new poster. No, trailer's coming out soon. But poster. So this is the poster for Mulan. It's officially released by Disney, and date is set for March 27th. And I think it looks fucking amazing.
That looks really nice.
Especially with the color scheme and everything. Oh my god! Like, I think it looks. I remember seeing that the teaser. Teaser. I think there's a little bit of like it's dirty blood. It's that the sword is definitely dirty.
She don't cut her fucking hair with that sword. I don't want to see it.
That'd be cool.
So I'm just gonna read a little bit. There's a little bit of article to this. I'm reading off of comicbook.com. Was it Ming-Na Wen, who actually voiced the character of Mulan? She also plays on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. On that ABC movie, ABC TV series, and then like she also redid the voice when she did when her character Mulan did a cameo in Wreck-It Ralph too, like when all the princesses showed up.
Oh, that's
in
right,
that scene, right. Most of the original princess voice actresses did those voices, and so that really was her. So this is her take on Mulan, like based off of what she experienced when she did the cartoon. So I really believe Mulan was one of the first Disney princesses. I mean, she really wasn't a Disney princess if you think about it. She was her character back in 1999. She was the first girl in a village. She became a woman warrior, which is also a trend. I think the Disney princess at the time, they were mere less damsels in distress, and it was really wonderful to have a character that was able to not need a man to save her. In fact, she saved a guy and came into her own discovery of what her self-worth is and what she was capable of doing. And also, she did dress up as a boy, and I think that is kind of unexpected but wonderful in the impact for the people of the LGBTQ community as well, when explained. And I think it's wonderful that there have been Disney princess and warriors that have been able to cross a lot of boundaries. Actually not cross, but just open up a lot of different aspects of what a woman can be. And I did not even think about that when I remember seeing the first Mulan, is that, the whole movie, she's trying to look like a boy to fool, to be in the army. And it's like, okay, nowadays that's, there's definitely debates about LGBT, Q people being in the army.
LGBTQ plus?
Forgive us, guys. I don't know all the time. We're trying. But yeah, it's, I didn't even think about that movie back then like that. But it's so interesting, that you bring it up now.
Don't Ask, Don't Tell?
I don't know. I guess so. But that was so wonderful how they did it with the movie, because it flowed. It's like there was a reason for her to dress up like a boy so she could blend in with everybody else. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just like shoehorned in like nowadays when Marvel tries to be like, or Disney or DC or any superhero movie, they'll be like, oh, we have a gay superhero or we have a lesbian superhero. They try to push it as we have a lesbian superhero.
It's a superhero.
Like, okay, if it's a superhero and she happens to be lesbian or he happens to be gay,
then let it flow casually. I don't think that's Marvel. I think it's people and the people that are commenting on it, they're the ones that are like, oh, she has short hair. I think she's gonna be a lesbian or some shit like that. Because when I go in there, I'm like, oh yeah, it's a woman. I didn't like what was the one that they were saying? The one with the short hair.
Captain Marvel.
Was it? Is she?
No.
She cut her hair.
Well, she cut her hair, but I don't think she's a lesbian.
I think in the
comic books,
people say that she was.
I like how you did it to flip the pages.
And you knew what it was.
Yeah, I knew it too. But
when you understand what I'm saying when I'm humming, then you're one of us.
Good to know. But yeah, like going back to Mulan, like I liked how that flowed so well with the cartoon that I didn't even think about that. I was like, yeah. She did her, I mean, she did. She fooled all the guys thinking that she was a man until that time came where she got injured and then eventually
revealed that she's a woman. It's that really funny that you're saying that because in Latino America, what was that one novela with, there's a novela where the girl dresses like a guy so that they don't recognize who she is. Motherfuckers.
Mother couldn't talk for the longest time because I think at the time Crazy Rich Asians had just came out. What? And then they were already in like production of making this Mulan. And it's like, okay, this is the next movie that's going to have a full cast of Asians.
Is it full cast?
Oh.
Well, yeah, because it's set in China and it's during... Well, I don't know what period of China it's going to be, correct me, but like it's during the time where like, yeah, like it's, you know, there's no people from the East or West, you know, from the West, it's just Chinese culture. Yeah. So it's interesting to see. I definitely love the poster. I love how it goes.
Nice.
I do have one more topic on Disney. I actually thought this was really interesting. Is that we've all seen the live action Aladdin, right?
No, but you can talk about it.
No. Okay.
I'm not gonna see it. So.
Oh, it's okay. Well,
it's beautiful.
I forgot the name of the girl in there that plays Jasmine, but we just recently saw her in Charlie's Angels.
Oh yeah.
She plays in there, and then also you got Will Smith. But the guy, oh god, I forget his name. His name's Mina Mossad. I forgive me if I mispronounce his name. He, his breakout role was from Aladdin, and unfortunately, since then he hasn't been able to get an audition.
Really?
Like it's weird. Like he wrote a whole article saying, I'm kind of tired of staying quiet about it. I want people to know that it's not always dandelions and roses when you're doing something like Aladdin. He must have made millions. He must be getting all these offers. It's none of those things. I haven't had a single audition since Aladdin came out. Aladdin came out, back in May? April, maybe? Late April? So yeah, since then. So like, yeah, he made money, but it's like he's trying to pursue newer things, just like every other actress. Will Smith, the girl that played Jasmine, we've all seen him in newer things, and unfortunately, he hasn't moved on. And it's just weird. It's just like, dude, you were in like one of the biggest movies. Like, how are you not getting auditions? And it's sad because like when we're watching the movie Aladdin, he didn't take me out of the movie. I was more focused on Will Smith being the genie and like how that was different from all Williams, but like Aladdin like didn't really take me out, like his character of Aladdin, the way he portrayed him.
And I think you gotta blame your parents for not seeing things this way.
Uh-huh.
No, I'm just kidding. Because I forget about this myself, but it really is because there are no stories being written for people of his skin color or people like him.
Mm-hmm.
There are no characters that are needed for people like him. Like, for example, what was the story of Pi?
Life of Pi.
Life of Pi? Or no, what was the one where the guy goes back to try to find his mom? He got lost in a train.
Oh, wasn't that the one with the...
Slumdog Millionaire,
Slumdog Millionaire.
Well, in that one, wasn't that guy also one of the other people that was up for this role or something like that? I might be completely making shit up. But even him, when do you see him? If you're trying to find something in Hollywood, it's going to be hard because they don't cater to people like him. And okay, if you see a lot of artists, newer artists, like for example, The Shy or what's awkward of a. I was just talking about her before the Issa Rae. What's Issa Rae's new show? The show that she was... Yeah, Awkward. Shows like that where you're seeing a lot more African Americans is because it takes African Americans to write those fucking stories so that they can give more African American jobs.
Because what do these producers say? Well, why don't you become a producer? And what did people like... what's his name that he played Medea...
Oh, Tyler Perry?
Tyler Perry. He created these roles.
That's true. He created his own studio.
So then why don't you become a producer? I think that's what it was. But until he did.
So that's hard. That's what it literally is. Medea said, no one's taking me serious. Let me build my own motherfucking... No, my own fucking production...
Studio, yeah.
Studio. On top of a fucking... What was it? On top of a
something that took place in the Civil War.
I want to say it was a cemetery, but it wasn't a cemetery. It was a y'all know the fucking story.
Yeah.
but he literally had to I do no motherfucking research for this.
Yeah. We got to do some research.
But because I didn't know this is what we were talking about. Yeah. But yeah.
Well, you're going deep into this.
Yeah, but he did that. That's the thing. That it's an untouched territory. And maybe he's going to be the one to kind of awaken the giant. No, awaken that type of thing. Because even for Latinos, we're starting to see a little bit more.
I would have done
No. Because I don't want to ruin this because, I was telling, but even for Mandalorian, the main character.
You don't know who the
Mandalorian. I know who Mandalorian is.
Don't say it.
I do know what he looks like, but
don't.
No. But even that, can I give you guys a hint?
No.
Not even a hint, but can I tell you guys his nationality?
Well, we know.
Huh?
I think I have an idea who it is.
But what nationality do you think he is?
I don't know.
Okay, real. I'm not saying this. He's a Latino.
Yeah.
He's a Latino.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so just the fact. I love this email. No, but are you hurt that I said that?
No, I knew.
Okay. But the fact that it's a Latino that's in this role, I'm like, hey, that makes me a little happy that it's someone representing.
But why did they gotta cover his face? Oh, towards the end.
I don't know. She's saying that maybe towards the end.
Let's take a show like The Office. How Mindy, I forgot her character's name in The Office.
Mindy got
Mindy. But like besides Michael Scott kind of calling her out, what was it, he making fun of her Indian heritage. Other than that, she was just another character in The Office. It had nothing to do with race. And so I can easily see that actor from Aladdin doing something like that, doing like a comedy show that has
But you guys forget that Mindy was a fucking writer.
Yeah, that's also.
She was also a writer. Wasn't she a writer for SNL or something like that?
Oh, I don't know.
I might be bullshitting this at this point, but she was a writer for a really long time before she could be like, you know what? Fuck that shit. Let me make my own show and produce it the way I want so that I can get myself kissing those hot guys and shit like that. She had to make those type of create those roles for herself.
I feel like that's what I'm gonna do in my life.
Yeah, and this is just like another thing. You think you've hit it big, and then you're just everything's the limit. Sky's the limit for you.
5 times as hard after that.
And you would think he would at least get something maybe in theater or something like that. But
so why did they use him?
But the fact that he's talking about it he's open about it because it's sad because you were on the biggest screen on all these screens, all these premieres. You went to all the red carpet premieres, and so it feels like an embarrassment when you feel like you can't even get an audition or say we have the greatest job, then we get laid off, and then we're looking for the next job, but we can't.
Did you read the article?
Yeah, I read the article.
Did he touch on race?
He didn't really touch on race. I get it. I mean,
but I'm sure he wanted to.
I'm sure he wanted to. Yeah, the article kind of stops there. But it was just it's a very short article. I'm reading off of comicbook.com, and the headline says Aladdin star Mina Mossad claims he hasn't been able to get an audition since the film premiere. And I was like, what the fuck? Really? I was like, oh shit. And so I read some of it, but yeah, I'm sure he wanted to get even deeper into this because this is a really deep topic.
I think you need to continue. I think he needs to continue to share his story because people are ignorant to these kind of things.
And he wasn't a bad actor.
What? That still happened?
Okay.
Yes.
Another thing.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean you haven't been able to get an audition?
Like, I don't know, maybe his...
because...
What do actors have? Managers?
Yes, they do.
Yeah. To help him get roles or get auditions at least. And he said he hasn't been able to get an audition. That's not even a role. That's just a seat in line to do your interview, basically. And he hasn't even been able to get that. That's what he's saying.
No.
That's what I'm right.
No, yeah. What you're saying is right. But this is the thing. You can't, for a lot of auditions, you do something that's called a cow call or something like that. It's just a massive audition where anyone can come. And you'll just get a script or something, whatever that you're given, and you can audition. And have you ever seen those footages in movies and stuff like that where it's a room and pretty much everybody looks the same because they're all auditioning for the same role?
Oh.
That's pretty much what you go to. Those type of auditions, anyone can go to. There are certain artists that when you get to a certain point in your career, you don't want to audition. I saw this on YouTube in a video. I don't know if this is true because, it's the internet, but supposedly Beyonce didn't get a certain role in a movie because they told her she had to audition.
Okay,
and she said,
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, this would be a completely different story if it was, yes, his manager found him auditions, but he didn't feel the need to do auditions because he thought he was like, hey, I made it, I was the top of the top. I don't need to audition. Let me just do the role. And so I have heard of actors like that. Like they don't, but some of them have deserved that spot. Like they've done acting for years. Like they
pulled a Joey.
Yeah. Basically, they don't need to audition. But yeah, like him starting out. Like I'm sure the girl that played Jasmine. I keep forgetting her name, but the girl that played Jasmine. I'm sure she had to audition for a role for Charlie's Angels. They all probably had to fit the right part to fill it.
I think he, either he's about to disrupt something, or I just thought of a fucked up joke in my head. Sorry. Either he's going to have to, I know I'm not, disrupt something, or you gotta have to give it a little bit more time until our generation has fully taken over that type of industry, because you forget that these older generations are either dying now or they're retiring, and we are the ones that are taking over. Even in my own field, who my boss is, she's young, and when I saw her, I'm like, thank God, because I thought it was going to be one of these old school, old money type of let's make the man rich type of guy, and like old school, like you gotta feed the fucking ego to be able to get into that company, when that's some old school bullshit. And now the older generations think that the young generation thinks that we don't have to work that hard in order to get what we deserve, because I am not going to fucking kiss somebody's ass just so that they like me. My work should be enough. I cannot work for someone just because there's some big shot. And that's the reason why like the Me Too movement and shit is coming out, is because back in the day this shit has always happened. Women had to, like, what's the guy that the producer that was producing all these movies, and he
Weinstein.
him whatever his name is. That motherfucker had been doing all that shit to women for fucking years.
Now every time I see that Weinstein like logo pop up, I just roll my eyes like, oh, this.
But see, he's been doing that for decades.
Yeah, and it just sucks.
Bill Cosby has been doing that for decades, but because they have this old school mentality that if you're gonna have to get it in with the big shots in order to get ahead. Now the young generation isn't really about that. The young generation isn't afraid to speak out and say, I'm not going to do that. That I'm going to get into this field because I studied my ass off, because I worked my way the way you're supposed to. And I think for him, he's going to have to probably either disrupt, as I said, and be the one that makes that change. And I think with his platform, there are a lot of people, a lot of youngsters that are saying, dude, there's someone my color. Okay. you know? Like when was it? A few
inclusion my darlings.
A few episodes ago, when you were talking about, I don't know where I heard this, where there was two little young kids looking at a picture of the Marvel characters, and they're like,
probably like Black Panther. Okay,
yeah, with Black Panther.
You know, I'm glad you brought this up because it's been a big topic. Shout out to Double Toasted. I love them. I watch them. I even go see them live. Double Toasted. They brought up the fact that Martin Scorsese, big time director, done a lot of big ass movies that deal with the mafia. He's worked with Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci. Al Pacino, of course. The latest one he did was called The Irishman, which is actually out on Netflix now. It was before in the movie theaters, and now it's on
Is that about
Netflix.
Racism? Is that about racism?
It's not about racism. No. It's just something about he said. It's that...
Sorry, The Watchmen is about racism. The Irishman. Okay, go ahead.
So Martin Scorsese put out a statement, like, he was making a comment about... Someone asked him, like, oh, how do you feel about, Marvel movies? Or something like that. And he was like, they're not for me, or something like that. Or just, like... Or I think they're just more like a roller coaster ride or something. Like they're not cinema. That's what he said it. And so he is really good at his directing, but he's only stuck to really one area. Is that the mafia, mob movies, gangster movies? They're really good, but he's only stuck to one type, and they're only always about one type of race, either Italians or white, Caucasians, or French, or somewhere in between that realm. It's never been about a different race, black, Mexican, or any.
Because he doesn't know.
Yeah, and so that's what Marvel, like when he says they're not, was it cinematic or it's something like that. I'm sorry, correct me if I'm wrong, but he said like they're not like cinematic or they're not theater or something like that. It's like, well, for us, like for Marvel and for little kids out there, when they see their superheroes as their race, that they're the same race and they're kicking ass, that's cinematic to them. Like they fucking love that. Oh no, the word was cinema. That's not cinema. So cinema, and so like so a movie like Black Panther changed a lot of the perspectives for everybody because like at the time there's either Tyler Perry funny movies, there's slave movies for black people. But when Black Panther came out, that changed kind of the game because it's like the first time you see, people of that race in power, like an empire, and it's like it's so different and so cool to see something. So a kid that age, I mean, I've heard, I've had some cousins, and I do see some stories that people have looked at the poster and like, man, that's me. Like to be like, oh yeah, we have a Mexican superhero now. Let's throw him out there. Kind of like we have
Colorado, what the fuck?
Like all of a sudden, like we have a lesbian superhero or we have a gay superhero. It's like no, I don't want to see them just because they're gay. Like I want to see them because they're a great superhero. And if they happen to be gay, then that's them. Yeah. If it involves a good story, then I'll definitely follow it.
I think sometimes people overdo it with the whole inclusion thing.
Yeah. And so, like, if Martin Scorsese, decided to do another gangster film, but with a different race, that'll be very unique and very cool to see.
But then you come across, like, oh, well, he didn't portray right. Like, who was it? M. Night Shyamalan? Whatever, some shit. Wasn't he the one that also produced or did that movie with, was it Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yu-Gi-Oh?
Not Yu-Gi-Oh. What was that one that he did, the guy with the circle on his head?
The Last Airbender?
Yeah.
It's an arrow.
Whatever. He did that. He did that movie.
So that's what involved the kid from Slumdog Millionaire. He was also in that movie, and Avatar the cartoon is.
Wait, but wasn't he the one that got hated on big time because it was a shitty movie or something like that? It
was like I saw the midnight premiere to that movie. God help me.
But is that his type of movies?
No. He did like Sixth Sense. Was it a bunch of other ones that were like actually really good creepy movies.
Well, there you
go. And this movie came out. It wasn't just like bad acting or bad directing, and it's just like every single scene almost of that film like took you out of the movie because like he would the whole cartoon is actually anime based, so almost Asian based, the Asian culture. Actually, most of it is Asian culture, and then you bring it into here and he makes one entire race all Indian and like no harm to that, but like maybe if the acting was better or the story was better, maybe it would make more sense, but like the fact that he kind of shoehorned that in, it just took us all out, and then also with other races as well took us all out of the movie.
Or it's like
But we can go. Yeah, we can go down.
But
a
it's
rabbit hole
also
for
like
this.
as someone gave us this example. I don't know if it was at work or something, but they were talking about, all right, Michael Jordan, amazing in basketball.
Mm-hmm.
But did you guys see him when he he tried the whole baseball thing?
Oh,
He was awful.
yeah.
So, you know what you know, and you speak on what you know. So for him, for M. Night Shyamalan, I say kind of mumbling because I don't know.
M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, for him, it's a guy, right?
Yeah, it's a oh god.
I don't know. I'm like, I thought this was a movie, and then they told me it was a director. Oh my god. But sticks to what he knows. You can't be the best in everything.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you're going to school for one certain thing. You can't expect a fucking cop to be a doctor too. It kind of goes with everything. And you write about what you know about your experience.
True.
So you study that. And obviously, when you're writing a character, even in school, when you were writing a story, you knew who in your head you were envisioning who that character was, what they look like, and most of the time they look like you because that's what you fucking know. It's a sad reality.
Kept going. I don't know.
It's a sad reality that he had to be open to, but you might want to try theater. And the thing is, theater people and TV people kind of hate on each other, and theater people think that they're like this because it's you can't fuck up in a stage. Whereas in video, you can pause.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You have blooper reels and everything.
I mean, watch SNL. That shit's
Oh, God.
Hey, guys. It's Jessica.
And Stephanie.
And Alex, of course. And thank you guys so much for listening to this video footage. This is our first few times that we're trying to do this. And if you want to listen to more of our segments, go ahead and listen to us on SoundCloud, iTunes, and look up some of our videos and pictures on Instagram.
And YouTube.
And YouTube, of course. The Carpool Lane podcast. Looking for our trailer reactions. And if you like our video, we'll probably shoot more videos of us. So thank you guys so much.
Click on the link and subscribe.
Click and subscribe. And don't forget to hit those notifications because, I don't know, YouTube has been doing this thing. No, I'm just kidding. That's how it's always fun.
Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for listening to this. Bye, guys.
Bye.